Hello there, welcome to Amazing Antalya. I am Levent, your host. As you know, I'm a tour guide in Antalya, and today we want to talk about 10 most asked questions about Antalya. So question number 1, where is Antalya located? Antalya sits at the Mediterranean coast in Turkey, in the southwest of the country. As you can see in my background, there's the Mediterranean, and Antalya is built on a rock formation. As you can see, 40 meters above the sea. It was its chosen place because of some difficulties in the ancient history. We're talking about 3,000 years ago. Pirates made living at the coast living hell, and that's why they decided to move on top of this rock formation. Question number 2, is Antalya worth visiting? Yes. That's why my channel started with a whole round trip information about Turkey, and Antalya is one part of it. Antalya is definitely worth visiting. It gives you beaches, it gives you ancient cities, it gives you an old town, it just gives you everything. What is the best time to visit Antalya? Well, Antalya, first off, when it's not a good time to visit, it's definitely in the summer month. So June, July, August are the most hottest months. It's not very pleasant to stay here in Antalya. We have high humidity and high heat in the summer. So the most pleasant months are just before and just after these months. So in my opinion, April to mid-June and then mid-September to November are the best months to visit. Question number 3, how many days should you stay here? It depends what you want to do. 4 to 7 days you can spend your time here. Again, on your itinerary, it depends on if you are going on from here to the Aegean part. If not, then you can stay a day or two longer here and do some excursions with taking Antalya as your base. If you want to go on your journey from here, you can shorten that stay here in Antalya and add some places outside of Antalya for excursions on the way. Next question, is Antalya expensive? If you compare it with cities in Turkey, then yes, it's more expensive than some cities in the Aegean, for example. It's more expensive than central part of Turkey. Among the touristic places, it's on average. If you compare it to European or American cities, it's cheaper. Next question is about beaches. Which are the best beaches in Antalya? There we have to separate what do you understand of Antalya. We have the Antalya city, where there we have 2 beaches. Number 1 beach is Lara Beach. The second beach is Konyaaltı Beach. Lara Beach being a sandy beach, Konyaaltı being a pebbles beach. Then if you get out of Antalya city, you're still in the province of Antalya. There the famous beach of Kaputaş can be on your itinerary. Patara Beach is very famous, and the beaches of Kaş are also very good. Next question, can you swim in Antalya year round? Yes. The water heats up to 30 degrees in summer, and it only cools off to 22, 23 degrees in winter. So we have people who swim here all year round. You know, in winter you could swim, and then you could also walk up into or drive up into the mountains and ski the same day. Right now that's possible. Next question, are the beaches pebbly or sandy? I answered that question in the former question, but let me remind you again. Behind me, if you go on that direction, you would end up in Lara Beach. That's a sandy beach that stretches like 140 kilometers. And on the other side of this rock formation, you would end up in Konyaaltı Beach. That's a pebbles beach. That would be like 13, 14 kilometer long. 2 beaches within the city limits of Antalya. Next question, what are the main attractions in Antalya? What do you have to see? You have to see Antalya Old Town, Upper and Lower Dudan waterfalls, then Perge, the ancient city that is the largest excavation site, Aspendos, which is the best preserved theater in this area, Termessos, which is one of it's the only city that Alexander the Great could not conquer. Next most asked question, is Antalya good for history lovers? Yes, it is. We have so many ancient ruins here that are barely mentioned or visited. So in the last question I told you that you can visit Perge, that's the largest excavation site here. Then you can visit Termessos, that's the one that is not easily accessible. In further distance, about 1.5 hours away, is one of my favorite ancient sites, that's Sagalossos. I'll get to that later. So there's a lot to do for people who love history or historical sites. Next question, is Pamukkale close to Antalya? Yes, it is. It's not the closest point, but as I mentioned in my former Pamukkale video, is you can drive from here in 2.5-3 hours up to Pamukkale. In the morning there's not much traffic in Antalya, that's why it's a little bit shorter. Then arriving, it will take you about 3.5 hours. So it's a good place to have Antalya as a base to visit Pamukkale. It's not really bad. Then transportation is the next question. Transportation and getting around. Antalya has a really good public bus system. You will need an Antalya card for that. If you are getting from the tram to the bus or from the bus to the tram using many vehicles in a day, then the Antalya card will give you an advantage, giving you discounts. Otherwise you can pay with the MasterCard or your Visa card. You can pay with both of them, except they won't give you any discounts in the second or third transportation. But other than that, in the city you don't need a car. If you're going around to the excursions around Antalya, yes, a rental car is not a bad idea. How do you get from Antalya airport to your hotel? You have a few options. You can arrange a transfer up front. You can take a taxi. That should cost around 20 to 30 euros into the city center. They have to open their counter. So it depends on which side of the city you're going. It's a large city. There are also public buses, but you have to wait for them. They are not that frequent. I think every half an hour or 40 minutes. One starts off the Antalya airport. And there's also the tram. That one is a really good option if you want to get into the city center. The tram gets you here within a few minutes. About the food, what should you eat in Antalya? We have a few specialities in Antalya. The number one speciality is called piaz. Piaz is a bean salad. The sauce is prepared with sesame syrup. So that one is definitely a must. Then we have the Antalya meatballs. Special meatballs that are very famous here around. I will give you some points where you can try both of them. Famous restaurants in Antalya in upcoming videos. And then what else? Pumpkin, a sweet pumpkin dish that's again prepared with sesame syrup. These are the things you can try, but Antalya attracts a lot of other cooks that prepare dishes from all around Turkey. So you can try kebabs, you can try fish, and so on and so on. Next question, is there a nightlife in Antalya? Yes, it is. It's all concentrated in Old Town. That's why in my former videos I always said you should concentrate your stay in or around Old Town, but be careful of your location of your hotel. I had several guests complaining about being too close to nightlife with their hotel room. That's why they couldn't get a good rest. So check your location of your hotel with nearby bars and restaurants. Can you drink alcohol in Antalya? Yes, you can. It's it's a touristic city. A lot of alcohol is consumed here. What you should be careful about is drinking alcohol on the street. That's not allowed while walking around. You will not be punished or you will not get a penalty for that, but it's still considered a no-no. Is Antalya safe for tourists? Yes, it is. There's no criminality against tourists. Of course, within the limits of, being cautious. You don't walk around with $100 bills showing off your shirt or your trousers or your pockets. So within, certain limits, it's really safe. In 37 years of tourism guiding, I had like a handful cases of theft or lost items. Next question, is Antalya good for families? Yes, it is really good for families. We have a lot of resorts, especially on the sandy beach side, Lara, Kundu, Belek. These are areas full of resorts where you have, aqua parks in the hotels, so a lot of amusement for your children and relaxation for yourself as well. So it's really well organized for families with a lot of children. Another thing you should know is children are treated like gods. So if you're in a restaurant trying to punish your child because he or she did something wrong, oh my God, they will really have a strange look towards you. We don't do that in Turkey. So be aware of that. Do a lot of people speak English in Antalya? No. The youngsters might speak English. We have like private schools who teach English well. Among the high school children, you might find English speaking. Good English speaking people will not work in hotels because their income will be less. Good English speaking people you will find in the sales force. So in the shops or in front of the shops, they will speak a good English. Other than that, we have a lot of people speaking Russian in the hotels. You will be surprised because the majority of guests here right now are Russian-speaking tourists. Is Antalya better than Istanbul for a beach holiday? Yes, definitely. In Istanbul, you're concentrated on a city or on culture and history. Antalya, you're concentrated in culture, beach, and so it's better for your beach holiday. So these are the questions I found on Google about Antalya. We'll get to other questions as well. I hope to see you again on this channel. If you like to ask another question, just put it down below the video and I'll make sure to answer them in the upcoming videos.